scared.
For today's cup of coffee, we're going to be discussing a topic that may be more of youngest kid's alley as far as the information that he has on this. And I was sort of kind of aware of this phenomenon, and more so because this does go in with some of the extraterrestrial and the hybrid creatures and different things like that. And this is a matter of Otherkin. And I understand that there's a lot of people that they have issues with this. Mm-hmm. But when you have an individual who identifies as something that is not completely human, the things that are going on in today's world, would that really surprise anyone if they were accurate?
Some of them are just.
I understand a lot of the kids are attention seeking and stuff like that. And one of the pictures that they had, I think it was the gentleman who had the plastic surgery because he was convinced he was a cat.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he passed away in the past few years, didn't he?
Yes, but I heard that he was actually a very, very sweet person.
I'm sure he was.
Very kind, very gentle, very sweet.
Right. But he believed that he was a cat. And we're not necessarily talking about the ones that are necessarily, animals trapped in a human body. There are those. I don't know exactly if that would go into like body dysmorphia.
On all physical levels, on all levels except physical, I am a wolf. God, that one just fucking hell.
Well, what I'm talking about are the ones that claim. And there's been quite a few of them in some of the New Age communities and stuff like that they do believe that they are alien hybrids.
That could be so.
Absolutely, it could be so. And, we honestly don't know. And it says here that, this is from Wikipedia. I will give you the link again. That some of them believe as far as reincarnation. Trans-species dysphoria. There you go. That was what I was looking for. What is the label for that? So trans-species dysphoria of the soul, ancestry, or metaphor. It says others attribute it to unusual psychology and do not hold spiritual beliefs on the subject. Categories of Otherkin include fiction kin, those who identify as fictional characters, concept kin, who identify as abstract concepts, weatherkin, who identify as weather systems. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. Kid is just shaking his head.
Those people are literally mentally ill and don't actually want to face reality.
Well, and I'm sure that there may be. There's other ones that are of more obscure categories. But like I said, I would like to focus primarily on the ones that feel that they are from other alien, species, and some say that they're from parallel universes. I think that Wave X, we've all surmised that Wave X shifted us into some kind of something else.
Yeah, messed everything up.
Yeah. So
that one hummingbird just full on hit that one.
Well, yeah. So this is our little porch UFO here. And within this, it's saying that the Otherkin subculture grew out of the Elven online communities in the early to mid 1990s. And I can understand that.
I don't know. I wasn't around for that. But
well, no, but I mean, even as far as before that, you had Dungeons and Dragons and these types of things.
But that goes into roleplay. But the people with roleplay understand that they're not those people.
It depends on who is doing the roleplay. Now, there are some people that they can get very lost in that, because when you can have a different reality, if you can pretend to be someone or something other than what you are, that can be very alluring.
I mean, yeah, but eventually reality's going to hit you like a bag of bricks.
Well, it does. And within this, even if someone believes on a spiritual level that they are some kind of a hybrid creature, it is a matter of still being in human body. And that's one of those that um, it's just an interesting phenomenon. It truly is. And like I said, the reason I approach this, because it's a matter of contention. And there are some people that are very, they don't even want to discuss it. And then I understand a lot of these people are attention seeking. I think some of them may be confused, but I would want to listen to an individual's story before I made any true conclusions.
But like some of them genuinely believe it, and it's like, no.
Well, in the story, Stranger Things?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't the kid sort of a hybrid creature?
She's got psychic abilities. She ain't a hybrid creature.
Well, I don't know. I've watched like 3 episodes of the show.
I mean,
I know she was She was an experiment. Thus, that she didn't even have a name. She had a number.
Yeah, she had these abilities, but as far as a hybrid creature, not really.
Well, I do know that they have recently started the show. Alex Jones was talking about this a couple of days ago. Whatever the name of the show is on Netflix, I can't remember if they were calling it Sweeties or something like that, about the chimeras.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like animal and human mixtures. And they're putting in it as far as a very positive spin and stuff like that, because they're trying to get the public to accept this.
I mean, the legend of chimeras has been around since, books or whatever.
Yeah, but I had a week or so back, I had the actual research results that they are doing the human-animal chimeras.
As far as, like, actually trying to make that happen?
Yeah, they are doing it in the labs.
Yeah.
So,
but that's not fantasy. That's
that's not fantasy.
But most people, the people who claim to be otherkin, who literally are just other people like you and I, they're not experiments.
No, they're not
experiments.
Mentally
ill.
And like I said, I would have to hear the encounters of the individual before I would make any judgment on that, because there are people, we have lived with somebody that had demonic possession or unclean spirit or something.
That is different than saying I'm a dog.
Well, I'm
in
not
a human
like
body.
I said, I'm not focusing on that. I'm focusing on the ones that believe that they have lived on other planets. There are accounts of kids, being able to discuss things, past lives, reincarnation, different things like that. I do believe that's how the Dalai Lama is chosen.
Mm-hmm.
Is that they, it's supposed to be the same soul, just in different bodies. So, there is something called walk-ins within the New Age community.
Uh-huh.
And this is almost like a soul exchange, which to me sounds like possession, because you pretty well issued one of those.
It's the same thing. Walk-ins are possessions.
Well, like I said, within that community, they don't view it that way. They view it as that whichever soul came down here decided to abandon their mission, and so somebody else took up residency in the body. Or some other thing took residency. And a lot of it, when you really start to think about it, is very disturbing. Some of it is a matter of a mental health issue. I get that. But there are other things that you're like, maybe.
Uh-huh. I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's just... a human identifying as a dog, saying that they were born in the wrong body, they're supposed to be a dog, and then trying to do shit to fix that, and it's like, no.
No, you're fixating on the animal thing. I'm fixating on the ones that says, that I actually have lived on Andromeda before, or whatever.
Well, if it's a past life, if they're talking about past life, sure, I'm more inclined to believe that. But, as far as this physical realm, this physical plane that we are in at this moment, no. You are not.
Like I said, this is where I'm not so sure. Because some of these beings, I don't know that it's a matter of within this solar system or other solar systems. Could be, but I think a lot of it has to do with interdimensional beings.
I mean, that very likely could be, but I don't know. I'm still.
It's hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah.
The possession thing is still hard for us to wrap our heads around.
That's more believable than saying, "Oh, I'm an alien."
We lived with it. We lived with it.
Yeah.
And that question of where does the soul of the individual go, or the spirit of the individual go,
It's literally
when they
still,
have been hijacked?
It's literally still in there. It's just taking the back. It's just taking a back seat. Like if you're in a car, you're not in the driver's seat most of the well, unless you are the driver, you're not in the driver's seat. You're in the you're in the passenger seat or one of the very back seats.
Well, and he would tell us sometimes it was like that he was, watching someone else, live his life.
Mm-hmm.
Looking through someone else's eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And that also goes into the thing about depersonalization, where it's like you're looking through your eyes, but not at the same time.
Well, that's got to be a spiritual thing.
Yeah. But what causes that? That's not possession. That's something going on with your own spirit. It's not, nothing's possessing you. It's just,
well,
I don't know if your spirit is like saying, "Oh, I need to sit back for a little bit," or
I think,
it's just being like, "Okay, I'm going to put this thing on autopilot for a second while I do something else."
I think sometimes that we try to quantify and make things that are spiritual physical, and that never works well. And because that the way that Western culture works and views the world and views science and stuff like that, there's no place for spiritual. They think that's just a coping skill. Oh, good for you, you pray. But as far as them truly understanding some of these things, it's not often that they do. Now, there's been quite a few people that are therapists, as far as that they have encountered past life regressions or memories, which I think that it's genetic memory. I truly do.
Mm-hmm.
So there's quite a few of them that have become aware of that. There's quite a few of them as far as spiritual conditions. Even as far as the alien abduction, there's been a lot of people that had no memory of being abducted until they went through hypnosis or something like that.
Right.
And that was a good thing. Some of the ones that I have seen, that they actually had a family member or someone else present, not just the therapist, so that it wasn't a matter of, implanting an idea or some kind of manipulation of the psyche by the therapist.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're not a fan of the Otherkin, are you?
I'm not. Listen, if you want to identify as a potato, go ahead. It's not that. It's just like, it's one of those things that it's, some people, it's harder to wrap their brain around than others.
Right.
Especially when you have actually dealt with, like, genuine spiritual issues.
Right.
Along with physical, it's like...
And I think...
I don't know.
Right. And that's the reason that I'm not totally discounting some of these things.
I mean, I'm fine with escapism, but in a appropriate way. But, like, if if you fully believe that you are a cat, or you're an... I mean, I'm more inclined to believe that they are aliens in human bodies
Right.
than animals.
Right. I think so.
And some of them actually identify as dragons.
Yeah.
No joke. They identify as fairies or whatever, pixies, gnomes, elves.
Right.
It's like...
And that's one of those, you have to ask them what is so wrong with being human. And I think it's because we take being human for granted a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of remarkable things that we can do as humans.
Yeah, exactly. Not sure. Would it be cool to live with the elves? Possibly.
It depends. We think we would like to live with the elves, but until that's a fantasy. That's a mythology that we create within ourselves, and it's sort of like the grass is greener on the other side.
But, like, with the people that identify as fairies and such, like, their interpretation of fairies is not how fairies actually were or apparently are. Like, fairies are not these cute... I mean, sure, they can be cute and beautiful, but they're kind of mean and, like, very mischievous.
Right. And I do have that book on the mythology and stuff like that, which will be really interesting. That has about the fairies and the gnomes and the brownies and all these different sort of earth spirits.
That's like, if y'all have ever watched the movie Labyrinth, in the beginning where she's like, how do I get into the labyrinth? And the Hoggle is spraying the fairies, and she's like, poor thing, you monster. And then it bites her. She's like, I thought they did nice things, like granting wishes, and Hoggle's like, shows what you know.
Well, that's where...
That's more realistic to how fairies actually are.
You know, where Green Jay had the experience where he saw the fairies.
Mm-hmm.
And some of our viewers over in the UK and different places like that, they probably, because they have more of a history with these creatures than we do here.
Yeah.
So any of those things that they would like to contribute, that would be wonderful.
Yes, please contribute stories about fairies and such. I am intrigued.
Well, and even as far as the brownies and different ones like that.
Pixies.
That used to be, the pixies. That these were mischievous. I don't know that they were necessarily malevolent, but they were earth spirits. Mm-hmm. You know, that was what they were considered. And within different, religious belief systems and stuff like that, they understand about the elementals.
And some of them are pranksters.
Sure. Yeah. But as far as, do we have people that look like people, but they're not totally? I was told that years ago. And you've got some that are good guys, and you've got some that are not good guys.
Yeah, that's like when you look at Bjork, you think, oh, she's a gelfling. Or she's an elf.
Yeah. I could believe that Bjork would be the elf peoples.
She looks it.
Yeah. And she doesn't age.
I mean, she does, obviously she has aged over the years, but she's aged gracefully.
Oh, yeah. But I don't totally discount, I don't know that I would put some of these people that possibly could be hybrid on a spiritual level or whatever level. I don't know as far as alien species. I'm not going to totally discount that.
See, with that I will until I see actual evidence.
It's hard to present actual evidence of spiritual encounters.
Right.
I mean, we've had stuff because we've had witnesses.
Mm-hmm. There's a spider right in front of you.
It is a spider. Yeah, let's do something with him. Where did he go?
He crawled.
Did
He's
he?
crawling up.
Oh, I was going to say, he didn't go in my coffee, did he? As long as he didn't go in my coffee, I'm okay.
No, I thought he was going to.
But, Otherkin. And I don't know that I would,
like I said,
consider the hybrids in with Otherkin. I don't know.
Like I said, if they actually are hybrids or whatever, I need some actual tangible evidence for that.
Well,
like with ghosts, you got actual tangible evidence.
Sometimes you do, but a lot of times it's just that person's experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that we have the technology yet to totally examine and make a determination on whether these entities are real or not.
Oh no, you do. There is technology out there that's like, for example, some ghost hunters. You know the Xbox Connect
Yeah.
and how it can detect human bodies and such. They use those
Do they?
within ghost hunting. Yeah,
Okay.
because it puts out these infrared dots and such. That's how it tracks.
Well, I know that there is, as far as there seems to be a connection between electromagnetic fields and, seeing spirits and different things like
Mm-hmm.
that. Um, so, but I don't know. Do we have aliens? Are we the aliens? Are there aliens that are walking amongst us? That wouldn't surprise me in the least.
I mean, that's like for example, the cryptids. Those very, very much are. Those possibly are aliens that do reside on this earth.
They could be. I think a lot of the cryptids are species that they thought to be extinct, species that they never knew were. Um, so there's more things on this earth than people know. They think
Mm-hmm.
that humans are very arrogant. They think they know everything. And there are still a lot of unexplored regions on our planet are very underexplored, and the ocean being one of them.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things in the ocean that we have no idea what's there. Because as far as the equipment that, you know, people possess at the moment, it doesn't go deep enough.
No, no, it doesn't, and especially as far as
Like, for example, the blobfish.
yeah,
Like, it has to be at a certain sea level for it to, you know, inflate or whatever, be
right,
proper. But as soon as you take it out of the ocean, it's a blob.
yeah,
There's certain fish, other than the blobfish, that it's perfectly fine in those sea levels, but as soon as you bring it up, it literally crumbles.
well. There's also been over the past several years quite a few accounts of UFOs going into and coming out of the oceans.
I've heard of that.
So,
I've heard
why
that. I've
not?
also heard a theory that Atlantis is still around. It's just so far under the sea.
Well, and then there's people that they think that it's Crete or places like that, that those were parts of Atlantis. And,
That they have figured out how to cloak themselves so that they aren't found.
well, like I said,
Stupid spiders.
there's not. I'm one of these that it's not a matter of wanting to believe just to believe. I do have that healthy skepticism,
Mm-hmm.
but I also like to keep an open mind on a lot of these things, because there's been so much as of late that was once thought to be mythology or conspiracy theory or any of those things that has been proven as true.
Right. But like for example with ghost hunting, when I ghost hunt, I do take that seriously, and I'm not like one of these like, oh, you hear something, oh, it's automatically a ghost.
No.
No, it's like you roll out any physical
Right.
possibility.
Right. You still are trying to use scientific method on that,
Yes.
as opposed to the ones that go in with the night vision goggles and they're afraid of everything. So it's like, if you have that much fear, why would you try to
I
investigate
mean,
things like that?
with night vision goggles, they already make things spooky because it's all green and it's dark still. And it's easy to mistake a shadow for a shadow person or like a ghost.
Right. Right.
But like for example, orbs, if you like get a camera that has a flash, because those are the best things to catch orbs with.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell the difference between a bug, dust, something else, and actual genuine spirit orbs.
Right. Well, what I've always wondered is, as far as extraterrestrials and things like that, why would they have to be strictly in the vicinity of a spacecraft?
I mean, they're not.
But I mean, I'm saying there's a lot of people that they believe that. It's like, well, they can't possibly be walking amongst us because the spaceship isn't near and stuff like that. And no, I mean, if you were an extraterrestrial being and you wanted to study humans, would you not blend yourself amongst them to truly learn how they do?
Would. If I have the technology to clone myself, to have a different form, hell yeah, I would do it. Just to see if I could do it.
Well, it's just a matter, that is how you...
And if it works, hell yeah, I'm going to use that to study people.
You learn more when you embed yourself with a group than you do being an outsider.
Yeah.
People will, if they believe that you're one of theirs, whatever that theirs is, they're going to open up to you. So, but if it's an advanced group, an advanced, species or something, I don't know, maybe it'd be like studying ants or something.
I mean, that's very possible because, like, humans study ants.
Sure. Yeah.
So why wouldn't they study us like ants?
But if you could...
We studied the behavioral patterns of ants. They would be studying the behavioral patterns of us.
So...
What we eat.
Sure. But if you could shrink yourself down and disguise yourself as an ant to truly have that experience of antness...
If I could do that, hell yeah, I would.
Yeah, so what makes us think that aliens don't do that?
I mean, there's theories that they do.
Yeah. Yeah, there's quite a few theories out there. But as far as the Otherkin, it's interesting. It's an interesting phenomenon. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely interesting, but...
And a lot of times...
It's difficult for me, for the logical side of my brain, to just accept and actually believe that.
And I'm not saying that you have to give in to someone else's delusions, because that's always dangerous for both. But to find out why they believe what they believe, what evidence led them to believe that they are something other than just human, and to listen on some of that stuff.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of these, and it is primarily kids that are doing a lot of the other kind of things right now. No, it's adults.
It's teens and adults.
Well, that's still,
like older teens, like 15 and up.
That's still kids.
Yeah.
That's kids.
But they know better.
You know,
they should.
I think that our society has changed humans on levels that we can't even fathom right now.
Right.
So I'm just gonna leave the door open on that.
I mean, I'm willing to listen to people
and their story.
And if they can change my mind, hell yeah, go ahead. I'm open to it.
Right.
Because I don't have any experience with them. I only know from what I've seen on the internet.
Right.
And on TV. That's the only experience I have. Because I don't know anyone that acts as an Otherkin.
Right. So, like I said, I'm not going to make fun of these people. It's a matter of trying to understand where they're coming from. Try to find out, like I said, why they would be something other than human.
If people have this fantasy about what other things would be like, and it's like, that's not the actuality, though.
No. But how many people want to be who and what they are? There's a lot of people that they see themselves differently than they actually are.
I mean, personally, if it was up to me, would I be human? Hell no.
Why not?
I'd be a cat, because I would be able to be free to do whatever the fuck I wanted.
Well,
I'll be able to run. I would be easily entertained by whatever was around me.
but you also would have the fear of predators and different things like
Not if
that.
I was a house cat.
Well, then you have to worry about when is the human going to feed you, and
Yeah.
cats are very narcissistic. We love them, but they are narcissists.
Yeah.
We are here to serve.
We didn't tame us. They tamed. We didn't. They didn't. We didn't tame them. They tamed us.
Right.
They didn't. Oh God, what's the word?
They domesticated us.
Yeah.
Eckhart Tolle had said one time, he said, I have studied under many Zen masters. I love them being cats.
Yeah,
And
they got the most zen, if anything.
You can learn a lot from animals, but you can learn from different species without necessarily giving up your humanity.
Yeah.
And maybe some of these people have never been shown how truly incredible it is to be human.
Yeah, and I don't mind being human, in all honesty. But if I had the opportunity to change into a cat, hell yeah, I would. I would live for a cat for like 2 or 3 days.
Well, yeah. If you knew that you could come back and be human again.
Yeah, if I chose to. Yeah, if I ever wanted to, hell yeah.
So, like I said, for me, very much open-minded about the possibilities that there are aliens walking around as humans, and that there are humans that believe that they are some kind of mixture with, extraterrestrials. So, I'm open to that. Kid, not so much. And no, I do not identify as a potato.
I mean, I look like a potato, but I don't identify as one.
Although I have said before that I think I'm part plant because I do not do well when I don't have sunny days.
She just has a really peculiar blood type that doesn't agree with anything.
Yeah, I'm Rh negative. So that makes me suspect anyhow.
You sus!
Anyhow, folks, if you've had experiences with the paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs or aliens, cryptids such as Bigfoot, Mothman, chupacabras, if you've got local legends, myths, anything like that you would like to share, email us at cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And you all have a beautiful, blessed day. And realize that humans can be really cool. It's a matter of choice.
I mean, you're welcome to identify as a potato if you want. There's some people that identify as a chicken nugget.
If you're a potato, beware the deep fryers.
Pink fried goo.
That sounds disgusting. Anyhow, bye.
Left side.